Hello and welcome to another episode of Monday Markets on a Tuesday. So, as I said last Friday, this will be happening quite often this month because in the UK we have 3 bank holiday Mondays this month. And so, the Monday market videos will be coming out on Tuesday. So, if as always, if you enjoy our content, please like and subscribe. It does help us out and we really do appreciate. Also, really appreciate the comments we've been getting recently. Really supportive. Great to see people are enjoying the content. And also, if you've got any suggestions on things you want to see, and things you want us to feature on this channel, then drop it in the comments below. I had a comment last week asking about BTC pairs. Certainly something I'm going to cover, and I'll explain when I'm going to start covering them again as we go through the analysis. I did cover a few pairs a few weeks ago, and so as I say, I'll get on to when I'll be covering them again shortly. But let's get into the news for the week and then we'll get into the charts. So coming up this week, pretty quiet until tomorrow. The big one is the interest rate decision from the Fed. So that'll obviously be pretty pivotal. So the expectation is that it's going to be another 0.25% interest rate hike, or 25 basis points. But what will be really interesting is what the speech says after. So is this the final rate hike? Do they anticipate more? Where do they see the interest rates peaking for the year, etc.? So it'd be very interesting. It's not so much the announcement of what the interest rate hike will be. As I say, it's well expected to be 0.25%. However, it is going to be the speech afterwards, and then we've got some US employment and unemployment reports towards the end of the week as well, Thursday and Friday. In terms of earnings, starting to come to the end of it now, but the big one is going to be Apple on Thursday after the market close. That's obviously a big factor on the S&P. So Wednesday we've got the FOMC, Thursday we've got Apple earnings. Could be a big one. We've also got Coinbase as well on Thursday after close as well. So could be quite a volatile week starting tomorrow. Let's see what happens. Let's get back to the charts. So over the weekend, we had a weekly and monthly close on the Sunday. And as you can see, the monthly candle closed right on that monthly resistance of 29.3k. What was the actual close? 29,254. So bang on that resistance, which as we know was the bottom of the summer 2021 capitulation. So as you can see, solid close there, little wick above. Not a good sign that we didn't close above 30k for the monthly candle. Obviously, big psychological level. So fairly bearish in my personal opinion. If we go down to the weekly, it doesn't look much better. Again, we didn't get that push up to 31.7k, which I was surprised about. We do seem to be breaking down though. The warning signs were there when we had this weekly close below the previous 4 weekly candle bodies. So had a last little push up. Well, what looks like it could be a last little push up last week, and now finally breaking down. If we go down to the daily time frame, we closed back below 28.5k, which was this previous resistance, didn't hold up as support, and now we're back into this consolidation range that we were in back in March. So could easily see us drop down to 26.8k. That's when the real decision will be made. Do we continue to hold the support that we've held since the 19th of March, or do we break that and head for 25.2k, which, if we flick back to the monthly, is the next logical support? It was the swing high here on August 22, and it was also resistance here in February of this year as well. So clear level, and obviously 25k, big psychological level as well. So that's what I'm looking at BTC. Ethereum, not quite so clean. So if we go to the monthly time frame, we got a close above 1721, which was confirmed. However, could easily see this come and retest as support. As we can see, clear level of resistance in the past, broke above it, so wouldn't be surprised to see this come down and be retested as support. If it breaks through and we get a monthly close below 1721, very bearish. However, if we hold it and then manage to might even get another leg up to 2300, but that would obviously depend on BTC. Either BTC obviously rallies, or ETH shows significant strength against BTC, and we do finally see that alt season. But they're not seeing any signals for that at the moment. Weekly time frame, again, we're holding above 1783 weekly level for now. However, obviously break that and then we'll be testing 1721. What you could see is like a bit of a cascade. So if we go down to the daily as well, we've just lost 1850 as a daily level unless we can deviate back above it. But we've lost this level. If we then go on to lose the weekly at 1783, that could then cause us to go and lose the monthly at 1721. And as I say, a bit of a cascading effect where you basically see all these levels on multiple timeframes break, and then we end up being below the monthly level at 1721 for the monthly close. But that is obviously a good 29 days away, so let's not get too ahead of ourselves. Just take it day by day, week by week. And as I say, at the moment, lost 1850, so wouldn't be surprised to see a test of 1783. ETH BTC. So the comment last week about covering old BTC pairs, absolutely. I think what I'll do is start having a look at them when ETH BTC comes down to retest these recent lows or local lows from the 27th of March, this weekly level at 0.062. See where some old BTC pairs are then, and then if we lose that level, then I'll certainly be looking at them when we get down to zero, if and when we get down to 0.06. This day level that I highlighted that I thought we were coming down to when we first broke 0.066. So if we come down to there, and then finally this will probably be towards the end of the year if it does happen. This 0.053 level, which is the monthly range low. If we get down to there, then that is when you really want to be looking at old BTC pairs. Moving on to Bitcoin dominance. So a monthly close above 48%, which is pretty significant. We've not had that for a long time, since April 2021. However, could just be a little deviation. We'll have to wait and see. But yeah, until we sort of break clear of this and head up into the 50s, again, if we get up to these landmarks here of 52% and potentially 57%, again, that's when we'll be looking at alt BTC pairs, because that's when they'll probably be hitting some high time frame support areas. In terms of what else we've got, total 2, unfortunately another monthly close below the 600 billion yet again, and again on the weekly not looking too great either. So yeah, all the stars that were aligning for alt season have basically just been extinguished. So yeah, back to just watching BTC at the moment, which is leading the market. S&P, so traditional markets, so we've got a significant weekly close above 4175, which we haven't seen since August 2022. However, failing to push on for me, which is surprising, because if we go down to the daily, we had looked like we were breaking down for the week. So that was a Tuesday and a Wednesday, looked pretty bearish, and then all of a sudden Thursday, Friday, huge rally into the end of the week, and as I say, significant weekly close above resistance, but you know, not really taken off. I would have expected a run here to up to 4327, get everyone nice and bullish, hit the monthly range high, and then sort of nuke it down from there. But no real push from this weekly candle close. Obviously, we've got a big week, as we highlighted at the beginning. FOMC, some big earnings coming out later in the week, so we'll have to see how that affects things. But one thing, of course, of concern is the VIX is still very, very low. So as the saying goes, when the VIX is low, look out below. When the VIX is high, time to buy. The VIX is still very, very low. Only, 16.5. So, and you can see at these previous lows where we've had some big drops. So yeah, be cautious looking for longs here. In terms of alts, so there's a couple of alts that I said over the last 2 weeks to watch as we were in looking for significant downside. So ADA is one of them. You can see this weekly range high held as resistance. I think this has got much further to break down. I think it's going to come down and test this weekly mid-range, which is the 5th of December weekly level. If you remember a couple of weeks ago, or well, probably 2 months ago now, I was talking about this. A lot of alts have the same structure where they're within a range. They've either tested the weekly range highs now and rejected, or they've deviated back inside, and now a lot of them are either heading towards or already testing this 5th of December weekly level, which ends up actually acting as the mid-range. Not on all of alts, but the majority. There's a clear pattern, and as you can see, most of them tested this weekly level on the 6th of March as well. So a lot of symmetry across the alts. As I say, most are either now testing or heading towards those levels of support. So I think ADA has much further to come down. So if we just take a look, you could see downside of about 15% at least. So yeah, if you've jumped on this short, excuse me, or taken some spot profits, happy days, you should get rewarded. We've actually jumped on this trade on the Earn While You Learn. and it's running quite nicely. Hopefully by the end of the week I'll have a full take profit screenshot to show you, but we'll have to wait and see on that. BNB is the other one. Again, rejected or deviated the weekly range high and now getting back inside, and it's starting to break down, as you can see, the past couple of days. Again, could easily see that come down to this weekly mid-range. It's not the same structure as I just mentioned with the 5th December. However, ZIL certainly is. Again, covered this one, said that we're going to probably see more downside, rejected the weekly range high and now breaking down. Again, 5th of December weekly level, which ends up being the mid-range of the weekly range. So could easily see that come back down to 0.0235. Same with DOT. So DOT is actually already testing its monthly mid-range weekly level, 5th of December weekly candle, as you can see. Testing that now, so if it loses that level, then that opens the door for the monthly range lows down at $4. And the same with NEAR, slightly different. So it is testing the 5th of December weekly level. However, this isn't the mid-range, this is actually the range low of this range. And if it loses this level, then it actually opens up a new range. So if we just grab this bottom here and take it to the top, you can see that then becomes the new range. So you'd have this range low down here at $1.24, which was the local bottom. Then you have this level here at $1.54, which becomes the mid-range. You can see clear level of support. It was this swing bottom here down on the 19th of July 21. Clear support here in November of last year. And then the range high would actually be what is the current range low of this range. So as I say, these levels of the 5th of December, very important weekly levels, because you close below and then you open up a lot more downside to come. So for NEAR, it would be the local lows down at $1.25. For DOT, the monthly range lows down at $4. For ZIL, once it gets down there, and if and when it loses it, then opens the door to the weekly range lows of 0.015. And then ADA, as I say, if and when it gets down there and breaks it, it then opens the door to the weekly range lows of 25 cents. So yeah, potentially more downside to come, more pain for alts. As I say, BTC is still dominating the market, and if it bleeds as it currently is doing, then it's going to take alts with it. So just be cautious. So yeah, brace yourselves for the rest of the week. As I say, FOMC on Wednesday, important earnings on Thursday, and then some unemployment data on Friday. So it could be a rocky week. Trade safe. And I will catch up with you on Friday, where we digest all of the week's action. So have a good week and see you then.